Okay, let's dive into this incredible story of love, chance, and a secret kept for a lifetime, all unfolding in a way you would never, ever expect. So, what if the greatest love story you ever heard was about to become your own? I mean, really think about that. That's where this whole thing kicks off, with that simple question and an encounter in a very, very strange place. So, our narrator, she walks into her best friend's apartment. It's this place she knows like the back of her hand, you know? A little old, a little mismatched, but totally familiar. But this time, something is way off. There's a man sitting there, a total stranger, dressed to the nines. And her first reaction? Just pure gut-wrenching terror. Who is this man? Yeah, I mean, picture this. He's in his 50s, wearing a sharp suit, his hair is perfect, and the whole apartment just reeks of cologne. It's so out of place in this, like, regular student apartment. So we're kicking off with a stranger in the house. After she, understandably freaks out and calls her friend, the friend just laughs, says he's a good person, which honestly doesn't help much, but still, she agrees to sit down and have coffee with this guy. I mean, who is this guy? Why is he just sitting in her friend's living room? She's trying to get her head around it, but before she can even really start asking questions, he starts to tell her a story. And suddenly, they're not in that apartment anymore. They're back in the past. Right, so now we're in section 2, the girl in the restaurant. His story starts way back in 1975. He's a young military student in Istanbul, out with his buddies, probably breaking a few rules, when he sees her. And wow, he was just floored. He says, if they told me to draw my dream girl, I couldn't have drawn her so beautifully. He's mesmerized by her laugh, her hair, everything. He was a goner from that first moment. Okay, so check out how this all went down. It was a total whirlwind. He sees her in 75. Then 42 days later, a much sadder reunion. He spots her at her father's funeral. A couple of months after that, he makes his move, slips a massive 10-page love letter into her coat pocket. And that kicks off the best 3 months of his entire life. So here we are, a love interrupted. He was all in. He was going to propose, build a future with her. But then fate, or in this case, the military, steps in and just shatters everything. His plan seemed simple enough, right? A short posting out in a town called Batman, then he'd be right back to Adana to get a transfer and marry her. Their goodbye at the bus station was just heartbreaking. They even exchanged a lock of hair and a scented handkerchief. It felt like something out of a movie, but he really thought it was just a temporary pause. He had no idea it was the last time things would ever be that simple. He couldn't stand it. Being away from her, stuck in this town he hated, he just couldn't do it. So he does something drastic. He resigns from the military, which meant a whole military court hearing. He buys her gifts in Ankara and Batman, and then he travels all the way back, sleepless, ready to propose. But when he gets there, disaster. It's what you could call a betrayal by mail. See, her desperate letters asking for help never got to him, and his letters, they never got to her. So her aunt, thinking he just abandoned her, pressured her into getting engaged to someone else, all because of lost mail. Can you even imagine? And here's the kicker. She wanted to run away with him, but they made her swear on the Quran not to leave her new fiancé. That's not just a promise. For her, it was an absolutely unbreakable oath. She was completely and utterly trapped. So that was it. She married someone else. And for him, well, his life was shattered. But his love, that didn't just disappear. It changed. It became this quiet 30-year vigil. Yeah, for over 30 years. 30 plus years. He stayed in her city. He even opened a business right in her neighborhood just so he could be near her. He watched her live a whole life, saw her be happy with another man, watched her kid grow up, all from a distance. And you can imagine, seeing her happy with her husband, it just burned him up inside. But he stayed. And then one day, just a random accident on the street brings them face to face for the first time in all those years. Her little boy trips and falls, and they both rush to help. As they're picking the kid up, their hands touch. She says, "Thank you, sir," just to a polite stranger. And then she looks up, and their eyes meet. And the way he describes this moment, it's just haunting. He says, Have you ever seen someone cry without their face changing? I have. Her expression was totally calm, like a beautiful picture, but tears were just streaming down her face. Wow.
And just like that, his story is over. We're back in the present, back in that apartment. And the narrator realizes she's just sitting there, sobbing, completely wrapped up in this stranger's decades-old heartbreak.
But wait, how does the story actually end? Because it's not over. Not yet. He tells her that after all this time, the woman's husband has passed away. And after 30 years of waiting, he's found her again. He finally has a second chance. In fact, he's taking her to dinner tonight to finally propose. He pulls out a ring box to show the narrator. And the name on the box? Name Jewelers, from Batman, the very town where it all fell apart. It's just a perfect gut punch of a detail. He looks around the room, this room that our narrator knows so well, and he says, "Turns out, I'm marrying your mother, Asiye Sultan." And with that one sentence, everything clicks into place. The stranger is about to be her stepfather. The girl in the restaurant, the woman he's loved his entire life, is her own mother. And that just leaves you with this one lingering question, doesn't it? How many incredible love stories like this are hiding in plain sight? What epic histories and secret romances are carried around by the people we see every single day, the people we think we know best?